Thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Thumbs it up. Notification bell. Share. Go to the links below the video in the description area. Patreon. Email me. Follow me on social media. Buy a t-shirt. This is the Egyptian reading for humanity in February of 2020. We are officially in the year of the rat now, according to Chinese years calendar. So I think they're just finished up celebrating their new year. But they got coronavirus to worry about. The impeachment, went as expected. Remember I was talking about the Battle of the Bulge in my previous Egyptian reading videos. And now begins the step towards Berlin and to eliminate Hitler. But the problem is, they say Hitler killed himself, or did he move to Argentina on a submarine? Maybe even went to Antarctica and then got on a UFO and who knows, and went to the moon and then, dark side of the moon. Just telling you all the possibilities out there. If you like them or not. If you disagree with me, you're like, no, he killed himself. Well, I'm glad you live in that beautiful bubble you live in. I don't live in your bubble. Or your box. Alright. So we're going to do the spread that I always do for Egyptian readings, which is 15 cards. And it is called the Shen. Let's see here. First card corresponds to humanity's character and basic personality, as well as to the general attitude of life in February of 2020. Sacrifice, or the Hanged Man. And that's our humanity's general attitude right now. Character, basic personality, general attitude towards life. The original Arcana, the Hanged Man, in Pythias' pack was represented by a man hanging by a foot from a plank placed on 2 trees, each having 6 cut branches. The hands of this man were tied behind his back, and the bend of his arms formed the base of an upturned triangle with his head as the apex. It is the sign of violent death due to a fatal accident or an expiation of a crime, or accepted truth, heroic devotion to truth and justice. Sounds like the left and the right, politically. The two sides. The 12 cut branches portray the extinction of life, the destruction of the 12 houses of the horoscope. The overturned triangle symbolizes catastrophe. Remember, O Son of Earth, the devotion is divine law, that no one is absolved from, but do not expect anything but ingratitude from men. Keep your spirit, therefore, always ready to justify its deeds to the eternal. Because if the Arcana sacrifice or hanged man appears in your horoscope, violent death will set its traps along your path. But if the world makes an attempt on your earthly life, do not expire without accepting this end of the part of the God with resignation, and without pardoning your cruel enemies, because those who do not pardon are condemned after this life to eternal solitude. Positive side of this card: disinterest, altruism, repentance, inner search, idealism, utopia, art, detachment from matter, moment of transition, punishment, mystic ascent, initiation, illumination. Negative: egoism, delusion, imposed sacrifice, illusion, unrealizable projects, vain attempts, lack of will, pain, serious illness, impossibility of action, constraint. That sounds like exactly, serious illness, coronavirus, impossibility of action, constraint. That's corresponds to humanity's base personality as well as general attitude in life for February of 2020. Alright, next, illustrates the problems currently affecting humanity. Current problems affecting humanity in February of 2020. The moon. The moon is portrayed by a field half shaded by the moon, illuminating it only in pale dusk. I'll show you it again. Two towers stand at the side of the path that disappears on the deserted horizon. A dog is sitting in front of one of those towers, and a wolf howling at the moon in front of the other. A crab sidles between the two animals. These towers symbolize false security that does not at all preserve one from hidden dangers most fearful than visible one. Remember, O Son of Earth, that whoever challenges the unknown prepares his own downfall. The hostile spirits depicted by the wolf surround you with their ambushes. The servile spirits depicted by the dog hide their treachery from you under false adulation. The lazy spirits depicted by the rampant crab will pass by without being moved by your ruin. Observe, listen, and know how to keep quiet. Positive side of the card: visions, oddness, illusions, mistakes due to the imagination, journeys over water, long and difficult research. So do your research. Strange meanings, attraction for the unknown, occultism, adventure. Negative side of the card: lies, dangers, tricks, adulation, insincere relationships, illness connected to water, moody character, germination, virus. The coronavirus can be spread through an open container of water if someone coughs or sneezes near you, or coughs and sneezes into a water system that may not be able to eliminate it. So you might want to get some water filters. Just saying. I got me one. Alright. Next we have family environment. What's family environment for humanity in February of 2020? Ten of Pentacles. Tax season. Valentine's Day. Just to reflect. The previous card. What was it? The current problems affecting humanity was the moon. Now we have family, environment, Ten of Pentacles. The emblems of power. Kefri's scarab is placed on a wand and a whip. Symbols of hereditary power over material life and the laws of man. Positive side of the card, revenue due to one's own family, inheritance advantageous obtained for others' merits. Negative side of the card, game of chance, fatality, loss, theft. Alright. Next card indicates relationship with children, education. Relationship with children, education, and preferred pastimes and pleasures for humanity in February of 2020. The Knight of Wands. The Traveler, a noble knight rides his charger bearing the banner of power. Positive side of the card, a man who arrives or goes far away. Unexpected departure, travel for work. Negative, break, separation, discord, flight, exile. And that was relationship with children, education, and preferred pastimes and pleasures. Number 5 talks of travels, plans, and correspondence. Travels, plans, and correspondence for humanity in February of 2020. Judgment. Expresses the passage from early life to future life. A genius blows a trumpet over a tomb that is partially closed. A man, a woman, and a child. The collective symbol of the human trinity. Rise from their funeral bed. This signifies the change that is in everything, in good as well as evil. Remember, O son of earth, that every piece of good luck is mobile, even the one that seems the most stable. Ascension of the spirit is the fruit that you must gather from your subsequent trials. Hope during suffering, but do not trust prosperity. Do not abandon yourself to laziness or to oblivion. In a moment unknown to you, the wheel of fortune will turn and you will be raised up high or dashed down by the Sphinx. Positive side of the card, change of position, birth, moral renewal, reawakening, examination of conscience, moment of transition towards improvement, recovery of physical and intellectual energies, renown, fame, publicity, second death, initiation into the mysteries of life. Negative: delusion, failure, deserved punishment, remorse, repentance, unjustified doubts, prolonged illness, delay, unfavorable moment. And that was number 5. Travels, plans, and correspondence. I ain't going, well, no. I do have somewhere to go, but not really because I want to. I see transition towards improvement, recovery. This is for you as well. Recovery, physical and intellectual energies. So stay on the positive, like always, unless you like having negative aspects. You like delusion, failure, deserved punishment, remorse, repentance, unjustified doubts, prolonged illness, delay, unfavorable moment. Maybe you like to repentance, remorse. Number 6 gives indications about study companions, work colleagues, or business partners.
Whoa.
For humanity in February of 2020. The 8 of Wands. The papyrus bud, some symbol of extreme youth. The bud represents the still unexpressed potential of Horus, generated by Isis in a papyrus garden. Positive side of the card: creative tension, industrious activity, mobility, exaggerated ambition, presumption. Negative side of the card: second thoughts, disputes, self-analysis, inner conflict. That was about study companions, work colleagues, and business partners. Creative tension, industrious activity, mobility, exaggerated ambition, presumption. So don't make any major decisions with what people are saying in your groups. Next card: profits, wealth, estate, and property for humanity in February of 2020. Ten of Wands. The overturned Jed. The crown of Osiris overturned under the Jed, the backbone of the god, is a symbol of the loss of power deriving from defeat by the hand of Seth. Positive side of the card: uncertain victory, illusory, or momentary success, oppression, overtiredness. Negative side of the card: uncertainty, contrariness, difficulty, intrigues. So this was number 7. Profit, wealth, estate, and property. Uncertain victory is a positive for this. Illusory or momentary success, oppression, overtiredness. It might be hard for you. Profits and feeling like you're putting in a lot of work and not getting much out of it. Talk 8. Number 8, the card 8. Love, sexuality, marriage, and sentimental relationships for humanity in February of 2020. Lovers. Lovers is represented by a man standing immobile on the corner formed by the junction of two roads. His eyes are fixed on the ground and his arms crossed over his chest. Two women, one on his right and the other on his left, place one on their hands and on his shoulders, showing him the two roads. The woman on the right has her brow bound with a golden circle and personifies virtue. The one on the left is crowned with the vine shoots and represents the tempter vice. Above this group, the genius of justice, gliding in a dazzling halo, tightens his bow and directs the arrow of chastisement towards vice. The whole of this scene expresses the struggle between passion and conscience. Remember, O Son of Earth, that for common men the attractions of vice are more prestigious than the austere beauty of virtue. If our lovers appear in your horoscope, take care in selecting your solutions. Obstacles in front of you block the road you are looking for. Opposing probabilities glide around your head, and your will facilitates between opposing parties. In all cases, indecision is more disastrous than a bad choice. Go forwards or retreat, but remember that a chain of flowers is more difficult to break than a chain of iron. Positive side of the card: trial, exam, attempt, important choice in the effective, professional, or commercial field, and others, a decision in necessary marriage, pledge, pact. Negative side of the card: falsity, temptation, guilty love, failure in a trial, unfaithfulness, separation, love not exchanged, missed promises, indecision. That was number 8. Love, sexuality, marriage, and sentimental relationships. And you got the Lover's card. Or we got the Lover's card. Number 9 talks of health, illness, and psychophysical energy for humanity in February of 2020. The Knave of Chalices. Anubis priest. The scribe is writing on a tablet. Above him there is a vase, symbol of the heart containing the soul of a dead person submitted for justice. Positive side of the card: young scholar, confession, good omens, meditation, rich interior. Negative side of the card: sincere attachment, excessive demonstrations of affection. That was health, illness, and psychophysical energy. Number 10 indicates material and spiritual ambitions for humanity in February of 2020. The King of Wands. The Lord of Fertility. A prince raises the wand of earthly power. And becomes a king. Positive: good relationship with an authoritative but cordial, mature man, father of a family or company manager. Negative: advice that needs to be followed. Austerity, awe for a stronger power. And that was material and spiritual ambitions. Square 11, number 11, represents relationships with institutions in law and religion for humanity, February of 2020. Seven of Swords. Isis Lament. Isis Lament. The ambient of life threatened by seven daggers represents the moment that precedes the death of Osiris, husband of the magician goddess Isis, by Seth's hand. Positive side of the card, warning, good advice, instructions, mysterious protection. Negative side of the card, plan that came to nothing. Unfruitful negotiations. Lack of trust, loss. That was number 11. Relationships with institutions, law, and religion. 12 represents friends, acquaintances, or occasional contact with people for humanity in February of 2020. Judgment. No, I'm sorry. It's not judgment. That's death. And expresses the perpetual movement of creation, destruction, and renewal in the divine world. In the intellectual world, it is ascension of the spirit to the heavenly spheres. In the physical world, it is natural death, that is the transformation of human nature that has reached the end of its last organic period. The original death in Papyrus Pack was represented by a skeleton reaping heads in a meadow from where the men's hands and feet appeared on every side as the sickle continued its work. This is the emblem of the perpetual destruction and renewal of all forms of being in the reign of time. Remember, O Son of Earth, that terrestrial things do not last for long, and that highest powers are mowed down like grass in the fields. The dissolution of your visible organs will arrive earlier than you expected, but do not fear, because death is nothing but part of another life. The universe unceasingly reabsorbs everything that came from its breast that has not been spiritualized, but the release from material instincts for a free and voluntary union of our soul with the laws of universal movement creates in us a second man, a celestial man, and so our immortality begins. Positive side of the cards, unexpected changes, radical transformation, fatality, disillusion, spiritism, necromancy, initiatory death, understanding of the mysteries of being, germination. Negative side of the card, immobility, refusal of change, stagnation, delusions, serious illness or physical death, wrongdoing, negative influence of a place, an object or situation, melancholy, old age, decomposition. Next is elements that are favorable to humanity in February of 2020. The Fool. Expresses the punishment that follows every mistake. Here you see a blind man burdened with a full haversack, who blunders into an overturned obelisk on which a crocodile is lying in wait with its jaws open. This blind man is the symbol of the man who has made himself a slave to matter. His haversack is full of his mistakes. The overturned obelisk represents his work in ruins. The crocodile is the emblem of an implacable irreplaceable fatality and an inevitable expiation. Positive side of the card, detachment from material worries, oddness, foolishness, incomprehensible actions, lightheartedness, travels, holidays of the body and the mind, indecipherable acts or words, creative tension. Negative side of the cards, uncertainty, hesitation, lack of initiative, escape from reality, breaking of all relationships with the world, impulsiveness, blind instincts, recklessness, stupidity, insensitivity, slavery. Next card is contrary elements for humanity in February of 2020. The Nine of Chalices. Isis knot. The Ankh or Ansate cross is a very powerful talisman symbol of the positive energies that bring life with them. Positive sided cards: satisfaction, physical well-being, solution to problems, repose, recovery. Negative side of the cards: mistakes, imperfections, small problems, need for a guide. And then final synthesis of the reading for humanity in February of 2020. Two of Swords. Ptah's crown, a head covering of ostrich feathers that surrounds the emblem of the sun as though it was its rays, represents the power of Ptah, both creator and destroyer. Positive side of the card: tenderness, friendship, equilibrium, favorable environment. Negative side of the cards: duality, disloyalty, imposture, balance.